can't wait to start this, which is going to be good. We'll see what comes up around women and money. There's a lot of things, I feel like. So let's see how this goes. Okay. So 1 second, let me get back to the Zoom. Okay. So we're going to record and welcome. Okay, and welcome everybody to Tea Time. So this is our last-ish for winter tea time. So we started Tea Time, Tehilla and I started Tea Time because we thought it would be such a great way for women to connect. And we do this all the time. We're always channeling and working with women and clearing and healing and doing all these amazing things. And we thought that we wanted to create a space to have other women join us and experience this. And and it's a lot of fun to do this with other people too. I mean, we hope that you've enjoyed this. We have all of our tea times on YouTube. So if you look on the YouTube channel, we have them there. And then we're working on getting them on the website on livethepassionproject.com. But for right now, this is going to be like, at this moment, we're ending with women and money, and then we're starting a whole new kind of thing for March, which we're using March energy to tap us into marching forward, which is like this very intense energy around actually like feeling into your passion, to your purpose, to who you are, to what you're planning on doing, and and who you're meant to be in the world. And that's so we're moving from that tea time to like what do we say? March into your passion and purpose.
That's where we'll be being much more focused and focus attention on the participants and actually give them direction and guidance, which is individual and personal to them.
Yes. So if you were looking forward to, because tea time, we always feel like it's so much fun and it's so amazing to talk about so many things. But if you specifically have something that you're looking to start or something that you're feeling, I was thinking last night how frustrated I was feeling and how much energy I was wasting for so long. Or I'm like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I try one thing and I stop it and it doesn't go. And then, this constant ongoing thing. And I feel like so many women feel that way. And so this idea of really tapping into what is it that you feel locked into and then gaining direction in that way. And then even if it changes or doesn't change, like it does with tea time or different types of things, we're still kind of like focused and we're on the right path. And that gives us sustainability, satisfaction, fulfillment, all those types of things, which is what we're looking for instead of not. So that's the idea.
That life is dynamic. As you grow, you change, your needs change, your passion, your purpose, it becomes, you just keep refining it all the time. And you have different stages in life and different callings at different stages in order to either develop certain skills which will help you move on more towards your passion, your purpose, or you have a certain passion or purpose that you need to build on, or some people you need to meet or attract based on your resonance and vibration. So everything, there's a timing for everything, basically.
Yeah. So this time we're hearing that there's like a small group of women that we're supposed to work with, and we're going to work with them. And so we're excited about that. Yay. So and tomorrow we have this Women and Money workshop, which is really great. And so that's going to feed into this. We're talking today a little bit about women and money. And then the Women and Money workshop is going to be leading into this kind of connecting to your passion and purpose thing. Because the thing is, actually, when you're doing what you love to do, there's supposed to be flow. There's supposed to be flow of energy. There's supposed to be flow of money. There's supposed to be flow of resources. There's supposed to be flow. Like we're actually supposed to be in flow. Now, in the past, there have been blocks, different types of blocks that might have been preventing you from flow. However, when we're in flow, when we're on the right track, we're actually supposed to be like, everything's supposed to be in theory, like aligned and great. And we're supposed to be in this incredible space.
It's this feeling when you're like in the zone, and everything works and it's great. And there's a flow and exactly what you need suddenly appears. You just thought you needed something, and then someone calls you and offers that, or it's just this feeling that you're working in sync with the universe and you feel supported by the universe, and it's just this great feeling. Now you can't always be in the zone because sometimes you're actually pushed out of the zone in order to develop different like skills or abilities, or to look at things. But the more you're aligned with yourself, the more you are in that zone where you actually really feel the support of the universe, and you feel that you're in sync.
Yeah. So we're going to see now. So the intention tomorrow is to really see like what are those blocks maybe, and we're going to clear those blocks individually and then for the group. However, for today, what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of channel, see what comes up, see what we have to hear for everybody that's relevant for everybody who's here now. And then for when it's streamed later, if you're listening, it might be relevant for you. And all about women in money, because we haven't been in that flow state so much, like not just me, not just you, but like all of humanity has not necessarily been so much in a flow state. It's been there's this, the feminine is all about the flow and creativity and just trying different things and not having this like linear controlled way, and the masculine is all about creating a boundary, creating a container, creating a box. And the thing is that they both have to be in balance, but when there's too much masculine, for example, like we're creating this box that's that could be potentially limited or limiting, and so it's stopping our flow. Right. And so what we want to remember is that as women, we're all about increasing the flow, which then ends up to increasing the creativity, increasing the joy, increasing the abundance, allowing kind of the water, the ocean of like that femininity to like spread out for everybody and everything. And it doesn't have to just be linear and rigid and regimented and on this schedule and quantifiable and all those things. And that's how the planet has worked for so long. And now we're moving into more like a different space. And that's why this is all about women, and this age of Aquarius is about women, and this time is about women, because it's about not necessarily like these deadlines in the way that the masculine has presented. Like we obviously need all of those things. We can't fully be in flow all the time, but we also have to create this balance. We have to have these containers, but we also have the ability to flow and the ability to expand, and we need to include that in our life. So there's this overall theme that's shifting from right now as we move from this like more masculine space of control and this linear way and this, all of those things, into more of like an open-ended creative space, which allows for more abundance and that kind of ease onto the planet for everybody. And if you're not used to that, you're not alone, because none of us have actually experienced that.
As you're talking, I just remember the story. I was after the army, and as every Israeli after the army, like most of us, we like to go backpacking.
Yeah.
Go somewhere, and I figured that, and so you take a job, like not the best job, not the best well-paid job, and you start saving and working. And I decided that instead of working in Israel, after I experienced the work in Israel in Eilat, being a waitress,
yeah,
I was going to make money in London. So I figured I'm going to experience London, and I'm going to be making money in London.
Yeah.
So I remember my grandfather and my father telling me, well, how are you going to work? How are you going to make money? And I told them, if I have to sell drugs on a street corner in order to make money, I would.
Really? That's like the opposite thing that you would ever say.
Exactly. But I wanted to shut them up. And I did shut them up. And then I ended up like selling sandwiches, like on a bicycle, going from office to office, selling sandwiches and soup and crisps, and working on a pub on weekends. But I was just like, the idea was that I'm going without a plan, and I'm just going to be in flow, and that worked really well for me. And also the same thing when I decided to study homeopathy, my family was like, how are you going to make a living? And I was just like, don't worry. Because I just had to follow my passion. I couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So it's also a lot about being in flow. Basically, what stops us from being in flow? It's lack of trust. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't trust in the universe, we don't trust in abundance, we don't trust our inner voice. And that's when we lose trust, what's also connected to the root center, right? We talk a lot about the root center, that sense of safety, security, and trust. So when we don't have that basic feeling of being held by the universe, we don't have that trust, and then we don't have we can't actually, we don't necessarily are, we're not necessarily able to follow our inner voice, because we need to go by the book, by the rules, to go, we have all these constraints that we believe are constraints that prevent us from going after our passion and our purpose.
And everything that we do is kind of fine tuning, or like allowing us, like we're developing these different skills, and they're ultimately meant to, like you said earlier, like meant to guide us, meant to, help more people, meant to help the world. Like our passion and our purpose, it's not just necessarily a selfish experience. It actually is helping people along the way. It's allowing people to grow. It's self-serving, and also it's bringing something into the world. It's like we're all kind of connected. So it's not just like whatever it is that's serving you on some level, it's also helping all of us, really. So the more that you're following your own passion and purpose, the more it's actually helping all of us, meaning everybody who benefits from that. Like I was benefiting from homeopathy from you today as I was laying in bed almost crying, so or laughing. So the thing is that everybody
I had to beg you to take a remedy.
right.
I'm like, just please, just right. a remedy.
Right, exactly. So thank you. Okay, thanks. So that benefited me. See, so thank you. So anyway, so the point is that everybody's skills and the things that everybody learns along the way, the things that you're driven toward, is actually has been helping you. And now at this moment in your life, whether you're 40, 50, 60, whatever it is, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are at this moment in your life, all of your experiences have led you to this point to engage, to develop yourself as a person even more, so that you can develop your own passions, your strengths, your purpose, and bring that into the world. So let's look at what are the things that, so everybody has a unique gift. So the premise of all of this is that everybody has a unique gift. There's only one you, and there's only one me, and there's only one Tehilla. And so everyone has to show up in their own unique brightness and self. Like if you're limiting yourself, then you're limiting everything. Then you're limiting, your gifts, who you are, how you can show up, how you're helping others, everything. So the first thing that we like to talk about, and you can look in the past, or it's coming up in the 4-week class that we're doing, is all about what your unique gifts are, because you'd be surprised how many people don't even understand what their unique gifts are, because they think it's so normal for them. They don't even recognize, oh, wow, this is unique to me. And so,
and that's what we noticed, is because sometimes what happens, we'll flip. Jodi and I'll experience the world as Jodi, and she'll experience the world as me.
yeah. We're very different. So that's a real
very
trip.
different and quite horrible sometimes.
Hey. But yes, it turns out.
I remember, I'm like, how, I remember telling, I'm like, how I have no energy. I remember telling like, how everything's.
Because I'm a projector with no sacral center, and she's a manifesting generator in human design with this whole root center, sacral center, all this stuff. And she's like, I have this list, I have this thing, I have this thing. And I'm like, no, I can't work like that. Like it stresses me out. I need flow. Like we just work differently.
I'm going to die. How?
But it gave us such perspective, because we're like, wow, like, because when we talk to people, we're like, oh my gosh, we have to learn, and we have to look at everybody through we think that we're experiencing the world and everybody's experiencing the world like us, but they're not. Like nobody is actually experiencing the world through as you are. So for a while, like I saw Natalia just said,
so I was experiencing the world as Jodi. So actually everything felt great, like the texture of everything. I was touching everything, and I was getting such a hit from like the way the table felt, the laptop, the computer, everything. I was just like, wow, this is so
good. Yeah, so it's fun to do, no drugs or anything, just energy in the universe, but it shows us how we're so different. So everybody has their own unique gifts. And then you're supposed to use those unique gifts, whether it's for music, whether it's for sound, whether it's for sight, whether it's for art, whether it's for a communication, whatever it is that your unique gifts are, to further your passion.
And the thing is, right, and the catch, or not the catch, is that mostly the challenges that you've had in your life, and I've said this before, are the ones that help you develop your unique skill set in order to bring your passion and your purpose into the world. So if you have a child that has, like, I've got a friend, and her firstborn is got a problem with gluten. Okay, he's got celiac. Now I remember going to a house and everything says in Hebrew it's lalag, lamed, lamed, lelo gluten, and everything in the house said lalag. And I'm like, this is all for Lag BaOmer? I'm like, what is for Lag BaOmer? Until I figured out that it's not for le Lag BaOmer, like lalag. It's not for Lag BaOmer when you do the bonfires. It means it's no gluten free. But this actually forced her, so she developed this whole like she was baking all this. She created a business which is for a gluten-free business because her firstborn required that diet, and it was a huge challenge for her, but this is what helped her become who she is today. And I gave an example last week of the cabbage guy, the sauerkraut guy,
Yeah.
and doing
Yeah.
sauerkraut because of the Crohn's, right? So you never know
Right.
what's going to push you there. Now, the thing is, so up to now, what we've been saying is basically, today in this day and age, many people talk about manifesting and your passion and your purpose, and it's great that everyone has this awareness and this mindset. The thing is that what people are not aware of, that many of the things that are preventing us from being in abundance are actually things which aren't even our issues, that aren't even ours. It's ancestral blocks, it's past life issues, it's collective uh, beliefs. It's so many things that like we find in our work that we clear all the time, and you can you can read Think and Grow Rich 20 times, but if you haven't cleared those ancestral blocks or those limiting beliefs which aren't even yours, it's going to be very, very difficult to improve your relationship with money and with abundance. Or if you're like, one of the things that I work on is the abundance line. If the abundance line doesn't have energy fields which nurture it, then there's a problem with abundance. I see that people I work with, or even with myself. So suddenly when I could be driving the car and suddenly I become worried about money, and I'm like, oh, so I check my abundance line and I see it's down, or I see that it's actually my dad's, or it's so many things that people that we aren't taught, that are these small tweaks. Like, it doesn't, you just change that and everything sort of falls into place. So these are variables that most people don't even mention when they talk about abundance and they talk about money and flow, but they're so basic, so foundational, and so important. And that's why we've created this Woman and Money, because we want to address all these things that most, and also me, until I learned this, we can't even address them directly. I was going to all these courses, listening to all these lectures about money, abundance mindset, but end of the day, I was stuck with my dad's limiting beliefs, which keep on showing up over and over again to be cleared, because that's my dad.
So yeah, or sometimes, like you mentioned your dad, and then there's 2 points. Like, the first thing, I feel like everybody's like, well, so what do I do? Like, do I clear it once or do I clear it more? So that's the first question. But the second thing is also, like, just to address even more, sometimes it's an ancestral thing. Sometimes you're living with somebody who has that mindset, right? Sometimes they're in your field consistently.
There's an example that I give, but it's such a great, I give often, but it's a great example. So I do extrasensory business consulting. So I work with women and I give them extrasensory advice and insights on their business. So there's this woman that I worked with, and she has an a skincare company. She works with oils and everything's so high end, and she did everything so, she was so good with the marketing and the sales, and we couldn't understand why she wasn't making money, why the business wasn't succeeding. So I was looking and looking, and then I saw that what happened was that actually her husband wasn't making enough money at the time, and he was subconsciously preventing her from making money. He was subconsciously sabotaging her success because he was threatened by her success. So when I looked, what the solution that came up was that she should make him feel that he was a part of the business. Therefore, her success is also his success. The success of the business is also his success. So she asked his advice, and she made him feel like a part, that he was an integral part of the business, an integral part of the business's success. And once she did that, not only did the business improve, their relationship also improved. And that taught me that in everything we do, we have to make sure that all interests are aligned, meaning that every endeavor we take in our life, personal or business, we have to make sure that the interest, our interest, first of all, within us, our interest, there isn't a conflict of interest, like, oh, I'm leaving my kids, I'm neglecting my kids in order to invest in my business. That's already that's the classic conflict of interest. But we need to send a coherent message to the universe. So also our internal interests need to be aligned, and our interest needs to be aligned with the people who are close to us, whether they're business partners or whether they're our family or people around us. Because if someone is threatened by your success or does not want to succeed, or is suffering from the consequences of what you do in order to promote yourself, that negative energy will stop you, will hold you back. And the best way to make sure that all interests are aligned is by aligning everyone's interests with the highest good. And that kind of solves the problem.
So well, because the idea is, so no, that's amazing. So the idea is that, again, because we're all of service to God on some capacity, right? We are. That's what we're here for. You're each built to, you each have your own unique passion, purpose, strength, gift, all of these things, because you're serving the highest good. And if each of us were be connected to and serving the highest good, then my interests and your interests and like everybody's interest, if we are all being held on that vibration, then all of our interests, and if we're all serving the highest good, that means not our own means necessarily, but we're putting our egos aside and we're saying, oh, you know what? I'm going to be doing what I'm doing because it's for everybody's good. It's for the highest good. So now all of a sudden I'm taking myself out of the way, my kids, everybody, because this is for the highest good. Then all of a sudden we all become aligned. And it's so hard for us to see that because we're oftentimes so much in the now, and there's so much selfishness, and there's so much fear, and there's so much worry, and there's like all these blocks.
That happens because of lack of trust, because we think that, we feel that if we're aligning ourselves with the highest good, that we don't trust that it will also benefit us. So it goes back so many times. It goes back to trust, which is foundational.
Yeah, which is hard because it's, and I was thinking about this before, because it's not just trust, the way that you're taught to do things for trust. This is actually more of a feminine flow of trust, which is this trust in the universe, trust in the divine, trust that everything's meant to be exactly how it's meant to be. It's actually like taking steps that might feel uncomfortable or confused, as long as you're aligned with yourself. And most people are told, or have been told for so long, to ignore those inner feelings and ignore what you think and ignore what you believe, because you have to serve a different purpose, which might not be for the highest good necessarily for all these years. But now the idea is that at this point, we're all clicking in, tapping into the highest good, and recognizing our own unique divine purpose, our own light inner strength, and saying, oh, you know what? I have to be me because it serves the collective and the highest good at the same time. And that's like, we're not compromising. So you don't have to necessarily compromise on yourself. The world doesn't have to compromise itself. We actually can all be aligned, connected to the highest good, with everybody doing what they love. And we're supposed to be thriving and in flow. And we've waited, by the way, like thousands of years for this. So this is not like, oh, wow, that sounds too good to be true. And it was, because it has been too good to be true for so long. Like all the systems that you see crumbling, all the disasters in the world, all of these things, like we've actually been waiting a really long time for this exact moment. Like this is now. Okay. So, it couldn't have happened hundreds of years ago. So the point is that like, this is the time for you to really like understand that this is a really special moment in time where you the work that you have to do, though, is acknowledging yourself, acknowledging your passion, acknowledging your purpose, acknowledging that like you're willing to go for it in this way of being bold and courageous and, clear and all these different types of things, and get the help, recognize there is help for you, and then kind of moving forward, which is just go, and so clearing all of these blocks, the ancestral blocks and the individual blocks and the collective blocks and the fear-based block, like all of the work that we're doing. And we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at those, just like we did, is so important. Because
I want to just add,
yeah,
let's just clarify something about the highest good. Okay. Because most of us feel that the highest good means that we have to be like sacrificing ourselves, pushing ourselves, like donating a kidney, you know, in order to be in that place where we're doing things for the highest good. And that's actually not true. The whole idea is that, you know, there's so many clients that I turn down, people that want to be treated for homeopathy, for with the bioorganic, with the energy, and I turn down. Why do I turn down? Because I see either there's no fit or I do not want to work with them. Now, you could say, how come people want your help? Why don't you want with them? I do not want to work with them. I can see they're going to suck my energy. They're going to suck me dry. I'm gonna hate. You know, if I just, I don't look on the phone and see that someone's calling me or sends me a message and kind of feel like, oh my God. I don't need to work with people like that. Okay. Now, that is, and turning those people down is also for the highest good. Why is that? Because it's also part of trust. Because I trust that if I'm not a good fit for them, they're not a good fit for me, I don't want to work with them, so they'll find someone that will take care of them. It's not all on me. Like if I feel like doing something, if I want to do something, I trust that that's what I want to do. Like if I have this inner resistance, I trust myself that I don't have to, that there's a reason why my system is resisting, and I don't have to take that on. There's enough people out there, you know, who can take these people on. I don't have to do it. It's not on me.
And
So
we have
it's
to,
about being aligned and trusting also that inner voice.
yeah. So that's what we talk about also, like in the class, you know, next month. It's also about how to trust your intuition more, how to click into what that truly looks like. And like Tehilla has one way, which is this like emotional wave, because she has that like strong no way. And I have a different like intuition, you know, she's like, no. And I'm like, well, you know, and I talk it out, and I have this whole other projecting thing going on. And I talk it out. Like, I don't know, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. You know, like we each of us go through our own process of what it means when we say yes and when we say no, and when we want something and when we don't want something. But I think that idea of sacrifice or not sacrificing, which every single woman on this whole entire planet, I believe at this point, it has sacrificed. Yeah. Sacrifice before, you sacrifice again. It's like embedded in like the woman's code is like, I have to sacrifice. You have kids, you sacrifice your body. It's like you just do, like on some level.
And you know? Sacrifice, and the main thing is you push. If it doesn't go, you push harder. And if it's not going, it means you haven't pushed enough. Okay? So push, push, push. And not about even listening to the timing. Like as a woman, you know, there's a timing. Like now, sometimes I feel like doing the laundry. Like, no, I don't feel like doing the laundry now. In half an hour, suddenly it will be okay to do the laundry. But it's about, you know, finding those openings, the timing when you can talk to someone, or it's not the right time to talk to someone. It's all about just being very in tune to your inner voice and trusting it, and trusting also the timing, and in order to make these decisions. And especially in business, you have to be making decisions all the time. That's why you need that clarity.
So yeah, so and it's so interesting. I was just thinking, because today we were just talking how tomorrow we're entering this Mercury retrograde thing, which it's all about, you know, Mercury looks like it's spinning backwards. It's not, but it looks like it is. So for us, Mercury is a planet all about communication. So people think, oh, like the cell phones don't work or the things don't work, because it's all about, you know, my TVs won't turn on, weird things. But it's also about looking at like communication. What do I say to myself, especially in this month? It's all about what are the patterns, what are the behaviors, whether they're in business, whether in relationships, what are the things that I've been pushing or sacrificing for this for so long that don't really serve me. And that goes on for like a whole month. But like it's not really serving me. So it's like a perfect time for us to look at these old behaviors and these old patterns and these old beliefs and say, wait a second, like I felt like I had to sacrifice everything. And maybe that's why like I'm not actually like making this money in the way that I could now. Or like, what's this relationship with my spouse? Or what's this ancestral thing? Or what is it that's going on? So in order for us to move forward, we actually have to be looking a little bit somewhat reflective. This is a time right now for reflection. Literally this next month, it's all about reflection and saying what's been going on and how can I ultimately move into my own personal strength and freedom and all of these things. But how do I reflect back on what wasn't working for me? What can I do different? What's holding me back, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a, you know, a business partner, whether it's something in my ancestral line, whether like that type of things. So let's see, because I feel like we should do something. I don't even know what the thing is. You want to look like we have 10 minutes, not to put you on the spot,
okay.
But you know, like a thing, like okay, I'll give you a hint.
So So let me see. Well, I can just, if
You want to look
like
at a
just look at,
person? Let's
I
see.
look, you know, I could just look at the group and say, like, if it's an ancestral issue or the abundance line doesn't have it, we could just see what the issue is. I just
Yeah.
tell
Let's
the
see
people
like what's
what their
going
issue
on.
is.
Yeah, we'll go through
Okay.
like topics like
We go
ancestry.
through a few topics that are that are holding people back when it comes to money and you know, and abundance, and I can just tell you people, you know, what's the thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds
So
good.
what am I supposed to look at? Ancestral? No.
Personal, collective.
It's soul contracts with yourself. Okay, sometimes there's also a soul contract with yourself. Like you had a past life where I know there could be so many different
Like let's say you had a
scenarios
lot
that
of
you,
money and then you had a
yeah,
lot of responsibility and then everybody like wanted your attention and you were like,
or
no
used
freaking
to
way.
you and you're like, yeah,
Yes.
no. Or that
And you're
I
like,
know the
no,
guy who had the soul contract with himself that he's not gonna heal people for money. Okay. So great. He works as a healer. He doesn't take, he's not comfortable taking money. And everyone loves him. But what about his wife and kids? You know, all these martyrs, you know, that end up
right. That ends up with no
because
money, which is
yeah,
normal. By the way, that's
right.
like every
And it's
healer.
fine for you, but you've got a wife and kids and responsibilities. So, you know, let's clear that soul contract you have with yourself so you can start making money.
Yeah. Or
So
there's like a ton of different reasons as to why you have thought that it was a good idea for you to not make money.
make money.
Like money was bad. What do you mean? You know, you don't want people to look at you. You don't want people to think bad. You don't want this. There's all these things, or it didn't
You
serve you
want
at
to
the
be
time.
anonymous. You want to be, so there's so many reasons why and the idea is that you have contracts on a soul level, either with yourself or with other people, that can be cleared once they stop serving you. So I'm just sharing that I need to tell, you know, point out the women who have soul contracts with themselves about money, and that needs to be looked at, about money, about scarcity, about abundance, all this whole like soul contract. So let's see. Nikki, you have those issues. Rebecca, you've got that. Jacqueline, you've got that. Natalia, you've got that. Stacy, Lori's got that. Like like those is the woman. Those are things that need to be looked at, you know. Next issue, like ancestral. Ancestral, like I mentioned, my dad, or it can be like as Jews,
Yeah.
we have that embedded, that scarcity thing, we have it embedded in our DNA. Like, so you haven't got it from your dad or from your mom, it's somewhere there in that tree. So the
Is it like
question is
everybody?
not, the thing is, it's not because everyone has a past life, you know, where they died from a famine, you know, everyone, you know, most of us have experienced these past lives, but the
Yeah.
question is whether we've taken it on,
Yeah.
because we have, you know, whether we resonate with it now. Okay. So not everyone has that scarcity mindset, you know, even though their ancestors have had it. It's just part of what you're supposed to be working on in this lifetime, what you have resonance with. So let's see. So ancestral issues. Let's see, Jesse, you've got that. Lucky you. Rebecca, you've got that. Esther's got that. Amy's got that. Jacqueline's got that. Leslie, Natalia, Stacy, Leah's also got that. So that's like an ancestral thing. Let's see, past life scarcity issues. That's the next thing. Let's see, Jesse, Karen, Lisa, Rebecca. Rebecca, you've gone all so far.
You like one. It's like if we were playing a bingo card.
Like,
I
It's like
know. I knew it too. I've
the
never
bingo
called on this. I knew it.
is like the bingo card, like the lack of abundance bingo card. You know, you won all the topips.
Thank you.
Your bingo
yeah,
card is
check that,
full.
check that.
What's this
Exactly.
last? What was the last thing I won? What was this last one?
What was I working on? I was just a past life scarcity thing, right? I'm like in a different, I lost my,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah. So I was, yes, past life scarcity issues. Rachel, Amy, Sarah, Stacy. Stacy's also been Harvey and Leah. Okay, that's those issues. And there's one more issue that we need to point out. What is that?
And wait, while you're, one more thing,
Yeah.
like if you're watching this, like if you're not seeing this now and you're watching this, like feel within yourself whether or not this resonates for you, meaning like sit in and say, oh, like, is this something, why am I here? Like, why am I even watching this? Like, you might feel something in your chest, you might feel something in your stomach, you might feel like this inner knowing, like, Rebecca was like, I just knew it before you even called on me. So like really feel into that within yourself. And if that's something that resonates with you, because you might be doing all the right things. And it's more, if anything, just to kind of look at yourself and say, wow, I'm doing so much. What is going on? Like, why? So really it's about, tapping into yourself and thinking, okay, do I have a soul contract with myself? These are the things we've mentioned so far: a soul contract, ancestral clearing, some ancestral things, some scarcity mindset from a past life. Yeah. So is that something that's coming up for me? Okay, go ahead. Last one.
Fourth issue. What's the fourth issue? I can't see it. What's the fourth issue?
What is it? Let's see. Not a spouse, not somebody, what else would it be? Soul contract, we said, past life.
Collective.
Yeah, I said that before. How many times did I kept saying? I was like, collective. Okay.
Collective, feminine, male, female power dynamics. Do we need to explain that? We'll touch on it much more tomorrow, in Women and Money tomorrow. But the whole concept of diamonds are forever, giving a diamond to a woman and she gets it from the man, and the man is the breadwinner. And many women are in this kind of this dynamic where he's the breadwinner and I'm the bread maker, and therefore as the bread maker I don't really get decisions. I feel uncomfortable spending the money or making money decisions. It's this whole collective issue with women and money and being supported and whose money. It's like this, it's a whole tea time. It's a whole thing.
A whole tea time. I could actually spend a month of tea talking about that. Like, I could be drinking tea all day for like 2 hours a day, just talking about that. I think we have
tea in China.
If we collected all of our hours that we've spent talking about that, I think we could be talking about that forever.
That's a whole thing. Like, it just came up now, but actually that's like a whole thing. And I think we'll be addressing that tomorrow. But male, female power, money dynamics. Let's see who's got things around that, which it's actually, it doesn't have to necessarily be yours. It's like got to do with the collective. So Jessie, Nikki, Karen, Jacqueline, Lisa, Rebecca. Oh, interesting. Rachel, Esther, Leslie, Amy, Sarah, Natalia, Dina, Stacy, Javi, Leah. Wow. Well, it's all, we're all part of a collective. It's a collective thing that we're carrying. Each of us carries a different piece, a different aspect, a different piece of the puzzle. And when one woman breaks it, it actually helps all of us. That's what Jodi was talking about. And that's also the purpose of tomorrow, because what we're going to be working on tomorrow and during this whole March thing is also related to abundance. It's about when we change, there's a reason why there will be women who are drawn to tomorrow. That there's a certain resonance, certain issues that we need to resolve as a group, and the resolution of those issues, like clearing all these different patterns, will actually affect the collective. And that's what's so great about what we do, because when we raise our vibration, we're actually raising the vibration for everyone. So that's part of another reason why we're doing it. And so if you feel called to do it, there's a reason why you feel a resonance, and if you don't feel called to do it, there's a reason why you don't. So tomorrow, it's about listening to yourself and trusting that inner voice.
Yeah. So tomorrow it's like this uncapped kind of thing. So whoever feels like they want to sign up for tomorrow, there's a link on livethepassionproject.com. And then what we're doing in March, it's limited. So it's capped because we want to give women attention, and it's for 4 weeks. So it's like you would come now on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. So it's on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. during the month of March, and it's a capped group. for women to really tap into your gifts, your passion, your purpose, clearing some of these blocks, obviously. And again, it's this idea that you have inside of you, which I know, if you know, like this feeling where you're feeling stuck, frustrated, who you are, you want to be out in the world, you've like just had enough of this cycle that spins you around and around, and you're just over it. Then that's really who this is called for. And it's that you're willing to really make that commitment to yourself and say, like, I want to show up for myself for 4 weeks. I want to learn about myself. I want to grow. And that's what it is. And not
the timing is just before Pesach, just before
right.
You're supposed to step out of all these, out of slavery, basically, into freedom. So
Yeah.
the universe is actually there to help us.
Yeah. So exactly. So we're using that time, which is so good. And again, if you're interested in that, there's a link on that website too. Tehilla spent hours yesterday, like dealing with that, because that was annoying.
That cursing,
Thank you.
swearing.
Thank you.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. So so hopefully we can see everybody either tomorrow or next week. And we're taking like this little tea time break. You can look at, like I said, on the YouTube channel, things like that. Make sure you can, always join the group, the Live the Passion Project group, and be a part of that. If you have separate questions or you miss us so much, you can always schedule a session with either one of us. Or,
with Jodi.
Right. Well, first. And, and again, it's like, we really love doing this, but we really love helping people. And now's really the time. Like what we both said, we're like, there are people who really want that attention and clarity and motivation. And it's, and this is the time for you to step into that, like at this moment. So I'm so grateful for you, Tehilla, for everybody who's been a part of this so far with us, this journey. And so great. And if you're a part of the Live the Passion Project, we're going on this high tea, which is where you can answer or ask a couple of questions. Oh, and also we have the Divine You. You know that's on Sunday? It's Sunday night, because I asked that poll. And so Sunday, March 1st, you can see me, we can hang out. We can hang out once a month for $30, or you can join the Live the Passion Project for $22. And then suddenly we can all hang out. It's so fun. It's like 12, 15 women, maybe more, maybe less, depending. And I channel, we do stuff, clear stuff, talk about things. It's like a really great community. And the goal is to build community and recognize that you're not alone. So as we grow into our own passion and purpose. So that's
trying to sleep and not tap into. You do that while I try to sleep and not tap into that energy.
Exactly. But you feel it. So sometimes you're there too. Anyway, so so that's all. So hopefully everybody really you'll sign up or ask me questions or anything like that. And we're really doing this for you, for us. Because anything that we channel helps us, and for you, it helps you, and it helps the planet, which is why we do everything, which is why our motivation and following our passion and purpose is doing this, because this is actually what helps us individually and the planet. And just like that's your passion and purpose, is supposed to help you and the planet too. So so thank you guys for being a part of it, and thanks to Tehilla, and we're like looking forward to more and just expanding and growing and everything within this community and individuals. So thank you. And please share if you know somebody in your life who feels like, oh wow, they could totally use this, or they're feeling stuck, because it's actually a really big gift that you can do, is to give another woman like that space and say, hey, you'd really like this. It's good. It's like nobody tells anybody the good stuff, like like the good stuff, meaning like the really good stuff, not like a sale or not like a recipe, but like the really good stuff, like the stuff that can bring you to like a really good place. And so we want to help people, and you want to help people. And we all want each of us to kind of get to the next space. So thank you. Thanks, Tehilla. Thank you to everybody. And those of you who are on the subscription group, you can kind of click onto that other link, and we'll see you all soon, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. So thanks, everyone.
Everything we do is channel, so we'll just hear what the next steps are, and we'll just write it on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. So make sure you're part of that. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what the next place of the Passion Project should be. So thank you guys all so much. And
Thank you.
talk to you soon. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.